with the sub.
Yeah.
They've done it before, and Cider coming in as an IGL sub, it's fantastic, right? It's just going to give you that extra little bit of support. Not that Angel will ever need that.
No.
We're diving on into the game here, folks, as we get on to bind FPX on the defensive side. The pistols primed and ready over towards this B site, but XIA are actually starting to rotate around. This was a B fake as they look for the A site control. The spike sat outside, and they're going to be bursting right in. Still plenty of utility here for FPX, though, in post-plant.
Yeah, this first half's going to be interesting because a lot of teams you would favor on that defense, but when I look towards the opposing side of FPX, I expect them to do better on the attack. Nonetheless, already a lot of damage done onto Cider. Sushi Boy should have this kill easy, but actually Cider has managed to trade things back, at least for now. Foxy with another, making this one at least a little bit more in the favor, and with only Xiao and Zipam remaining, even with a few low players, it's going to be a tough task to break back.
Plenty of damage. These kills have to come in quickly, and the main problem being the fact that Scary, without any snake bites, but able to play way back, have that orb up, do damage to these players. Molly going to come through, and it's on its way now. There's practically no chance for them to get this one through without finding the kills, and as you can see, those are not coming their way. This is a clean start coming out of XIA, really nicely handled. 4 players coming out of that one. FPX, well, they're not off to a great start here on the defense, but still very early days.
Yeah, I think the thing that was sort of something that interests me from the desk was Sideshow sort of talking about the idea that we need to keep an eye on Serve when he's playing with all of this chamber utility. Like, he is someone that can work with that Headhunter, but will also then build towards basically his free operator, which is his weapon of choice. The shot that he hit at the beginning of this round was nasty. And if he's going to be doing that on the attack especially, it brings a whole new dynamic. Because a lot of the time you're going to focus on chambers on defense, because the attack, you're almost basing them catching players who are being aggressive, whereas in other focus you'd probably be looking at Sushi Boys.
Now, some of the intentions from XIA shown in the start of this round. Scary having that lineup of the snake bite for B long. It didn't get used up here. They decide up against pistols, perhaps it's just not worth showing this early on. But they have already lost one player. And look, Fox still coming in with a pistol. It's not the end of the world. Not going to damage their economy that much. But the main issue is FPX saw contact. They start to, taper off. XIA not making any more noise, no control, those smokes are fading now, and FPX could start to rotate all the way back around. These pistols can do some serious damage, and if they take a handful more kills, it could be a little bit too costly, so they're definitely not in a comfortable spot just yet, but they have chosen the right side. A plan seems almost guaranteed.
No one's actually rotated yet. I feel like Cider was in a position where he probably should have heard it, and they've cleared him really easily. I feel like holding on to the showers was the only real chance they had of doing too much in this round. Okay, the remaining 3 do have themselves the sheriffs, but realistically, I guess you can just look to, can they get a kill? Can they drop one more player? Can they make it so that maybe the rifle disappears out of the round? Probably not, but we'll have to wait and see.
Teleport's ready.
Now, Tom, same thing here. In this kind of round, hoping to get some damage in with those pistols. 3 players still alive. Those mollies guaranteeing the round won't be won, but already successful and a good chance to do even more. That is just great. FPX, smile on their face walking out of this one, even though it all comes down to really how this round is going to be playing out. For XIA on this attack, you can see spreading out, keeping the default as they have many times in the past, spraying through these smokes, keeping FPX out of position. But, with FPX, having the control that they do right now, they're obviously going to keep cycling their smokes as we're seeing. XIA want to get the control elsewhere. It's a little shift in through the bathroom, and they clear out these corners. We've seen FPX with this passive A hold in the pistol, and it didn't work for retake, but now that they've got rifles in their hand and much more utility to back them up, I'm curious to see whether they give up the site as easily as they did before, if XIA do come back this way.
Well, that's the orbital strike online. So that's basically what was being played for by XIA. I feel like then there's a couple of obvious positions. So you're either going to want to try and clear out elbow if you head towards B, or the back of sight. Definitely one of the easiest spots. Xiao, though, actually, it's getting a little bit more aggressive. He is going to get there, but that was a wide jump peak. But they're going to know that there's a couple of players there. Straight away, the rotation starts to come in from Angel.
Oh, he's gone back to the A side. He's kind of dipping in between the two, making sure he could pop the smoke down on B. But now that they're hearing some noise, he's going to help out on the hold. 25 seconds left as they look to blitz on through. Zipban only able for one to start with. Blitz, okay, out of the smoke, there's no chance whatsoever. Shao is just picking them off in the air. A little bit disjointed, and with Spike dropped on long, this round done and dusted for Xerxia. I think really the slowing strategies out of FPX, the deep control on B long, the smoke cycles, and just time delay cost them so much.
Yeah, I think the thing that's a little bit odd to me is I don't know if Cruz peaked first and then died and then the whole plan went out the window. But from what I saw there, it's like they slow defaulted, they go back, they go, okay, we're gonna get an AWP, we now surround B, and then we're gonna orbital. Oh. And it's just like, then it just fell apart because he was the first player to die. Now, considering that they had basically invested around that ult and spent all of their finances into the round, I feel like that's an oversight because the whole plan went out the window.
Yeah, I think he dropped the stim beacon, right? And then I don't think he was the first around the corner, but maybe just that stray bullet, right? Meant for someone else, catches him. Unfortunately, it's a tough thing to pivot from when you lose him in that push. This round here sees classics, so the Headhunter Surf is the main thing that they're going to send out to look to take some victims. And of course, if he goes down, everybody else is significantly behind in hardware. With FPX having so many rifles, a decently clean previous round, this is a serious opportunity for the defense to build up that economy. I think the key thing with literally nothing bought on the other side, bar Surf's armor and Headhunter, they need to make sure they don't give him the opportunities. Because this man can have a tour de force, and that was almost a kill.
But that's the thing, even if he gets one kill, he has it for the next round. The investment of this round doesn't really matter anymore. Already though, hard is okay. A little bit of spam that's gone a long way. Spike actually dropped as well, which is frustrating. And well, getting so much done off the back of the spam. Planting a kill though, I don't think they're going to frown too much upon that. The only man remaining is going to be scary. Actually has a decent flank here. This kill on the player on truck could be for free. He doesn't realize he's up there though. They're going to defuse. Angel's also incredibly low, and he's just got lost. Finally, he'll get the kill and be killed, more importantly, so he actually gets extra finances.
Yeah, I think he's pretty happy about going down towards the end. Extra kill, huge bonus for them, and I think he was right to just concede the round there. You know they're going to get to the defuse. But as we said coming in, damage was the main name of the game. And FPX haven't managed to build up that crazy economy that they could have. A couple of good punishes coming out of Xerxia. In particular, up close inside of that smoke, you saw Sushi Boys just wait for the sprays to come through. He hears the player reload on the right. Then Artis starts spraying, and he realizes, okay, this is my moment to go out. Drops Artis, gets some good damage in. Great play with the classics now with rifles in their hand. I expect much more from Xerxia. A typical cross we're going to see out of a lot of teams, but hold on, they've not put the wall up, and that caught Cider off guard. A quick kill, and now Artis is going to try to hold on. A damn good job, but it's not enough.
They've had the counter orbital strike go down. That might actually give them a little bit of space to try and get the res up, but instead, Scary is almost just guarding this territory. Shao doesn't actually get the kill onto Sushi Boys, and in fact, they're trading effectively. Sushi Boys tries to blast back out the corner, and the spikes go flying into the hands of Zipan. This might just be in his hands because of it. A little bit unlucky, but some crazy shots connected from Zipan. Please give me a replay of where that spike just went. I have never seen anything like that before.
That is so unbelievably unlucky. You know, when you got these elevated surfaces, I don't know if the people at home will even necessarily know, right? The spike bounces on those surfaces you can't get to.
Look at that spike!
Even his body. So the nade went down. Sushi Boys was 20 HP after that incredible flick that he hit onto the player dropping out of heaven. I believe that was Shao. So he hits that flick, 20 HP, nade comes in. He's like, well, I can try survive with a blast pack. And unfortunately, he neither survived nor got them into a better position in the round. That was really worst case scenario.
Oh, I heard they were like bringing those in drone deliveries, but this is like blast pack delivery of the spike.
You guys want a spike? Hey, I like the little backflip he did over the box, though. That was pretty cool. This time wall goes up, and they're going to cross all the way through. Good snake bite down by Cider, though. Delay strategy. Oh, no.
Right, so Cider just died to the dome. No, this whole round has just gone completely wrong. Oh, okay. Well, these last two have been a little bit weird, but nonetheless, it's looking very clean. Xerxia finding some easy space in towards this A side. I think the sheer pace in which they're throwing it in is something that FPX really can't deal with at the moment. But yeah, I don't really know
Big investment. Now Xiao is the one with the operator. He's going to be playing this towards A, right up there on mid, looking to take the fight. We just saw the orb land on top of him, so a little bit awkward. He has to play around on the A side of it.
Stinger.
Yes, he is.
Where's no shotgun?
So I don't know if he was involved in the dropping of that op, although I don't think so. Xiao's on light shield, so I imagine he bought that himself. That's not the best of weapons to play with, and you normally see the judge up and in there for sure, but maybe he's got that old right-click strategy down. Maybe that's something we know.
No one has that. No, I love you, Lothar, but no one ever used that buy.
Hey, I saw some clips. Clips. All of them were from his stream, but I did see some clips, and that's all I'm saying. The facts are the facts. 50 seconds left as Xerxia look to move to this site. They've still got Orbital Strike, still got Seekers, and a Viper's Pit. A ton of utility to work with. And FPX, though, like, it's this operator for Xiao. He's been so patient with it, holding up close. They've got mid covered, but once this utility goes up, he's going to be under so much pressure.
The first one's for free. Using the ugliest operator
in
the game. He's actually just going to go pushing all the way through. Little bit of madness. I guess they are playing this a bit more free than normal. Zipan still manages to get one. The rotation's not coming through. The smokes have held them back at least a little bit long. Okay, it didn't. Some of these risks that are being taken by FPX, I am not a fan of.
Well, we've heard that the FPX scrims have been going well, and I'll tell you what, these guys are definitely coming in looking confident, because those plays, to me, that is overconfidence. Xerxia punishing them every turn of the way, and that's what you need to see, right? This team is not going to allow FPX to come in and disrespect them. Artis into the 1 versus 2. A chance, but a Viper's Pit to fight through. A Molly post-plant. Sorry, Orbital Strike post-plant coming out of Cruz. I think that pretty much closes the round. Artis is out. Well, if he can get out, knife in hand.
Oh, this is awkward. It's actually going to be Artis to get the kill, and he's managed to retrieve the operator at that, so something to take through. Scary's going to get away as well. But yeah, I definitely a bit of a peculiar one for FPX. Like, Xiao, like, he even had Nightfall there. So if he wanted to hold them back, he could have used his ultimate to try and slow them down. It just runs in with an operator. And then the more peculiar one for me is this move from Angel. Like, that's so risky. That was a 3v3 as well.
Yeah, this is exactly as I say. I can't think of it any other way. Just sheer confidence coming out of the FPX side that individually they'll be able to destroy this Xerxia team. I don't know what they've seen behind the scenes that led them to believe that, but right now, it ain't adding up. Xerxia are looking pretty strong. They're able to take these duels. They're able to punish every little mistake that's been coming on through. And we're left into this round. Sure, Artis saved this operator, so they've got that, but everybody else is playing with pistols. Still, with the fact that they've got so many ultis online, it is a round that Xerxia need to be very cautious of, and that is just the perfect start. Up, down, and out of the round. Unrecoverable, too.
Yeah, definitely not the weapon you wanted to lose this early. Oh, nice shot from Xiao. Maybe wanting a little bit of vengeance after the last round. Angel still trying to lurk around the edge of the smoke, but he's been spammed through it instead. Space taken, Zipan. He's actually going to go in with the showstopper, but he's caught before he can even fire it off. Ultimate used, ultimate wasted, and while Xiao maybe hit him within this smoke, but the rotation fairly far away, trying to cap someone as they exit, but now into the afterplant once again. Xerxia in a solid spot.
Oh, that's some info to play with, but not able to follow up. Cider, a pit, but with only this pistol, it's doubtful that he's going to try to use that. I would be incredibly surprised. Being flanked out as well, so there's the round closed. Nicely handled by Scary in through the elbow. 5-3.
So once the plant goes down, I think it's been good for Xerxia.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, like we said, those punishments that have come through have been on point. Starting this one out, rifles all around for FPX. Zipan up top. Let's see Angels here to kind of draw most of their eyes. So they think that this is the main player holding up on middle, but in fact, Zipan was waiting. He's being caught, though. A disaster of a start. A flash through. Artis a little bit early on that. The rest of the team now rallying up, and he's got through. He got that shot off somehow, but that's all that they've managed so far in FPX, and the orbital strike. It's not taking him down, but the bullet from Crows certainly has.
Yeah, it leaves again. a 2 versus 4 scenario. Cider and Xiao might even just want to think about trying to save here, because getting back in from defender spawn is going to be difficult. Now, Zipan's played that spot a couple of times, so I'm not surprised to see them actually check it early on. He's tried to use that elevated angle to get a pick. Again, clearly just trying to win out those Angels. Not working out so far, and then it did just look like it crumbled. Like, the pinch coming through from Showers, it was actually a switch up in the way that they've been taking so far, because Xerxia, for the majority of rounds, they've been sending 1 player or 2 players through the Showers, and then everybody else through mid. So I think Artist got a little bit of a nasty surprise. Like, okay, I'm going to reclaim this ground, and wow. He met the full force of the opposition. Good read from Xerxia, if anything.
That's what this whole game has been so far. Again, just the ability to come through with those punishes time after time. You're seeing the comfort level on this map. With 6 rounds in the attack already, they are certainly building them up. Like you said, second half, we expect FPX to come back into it and to put on a good performance, but with the context of how it's gone so far, it just that 3-round streak and then looking relatively flat since then. The ideas that they have, the opportunities they're going for, really not finding any sort of success. And even some of these peeps, like that Zipan holding the angle early, and Fox is able to swing through and take that kill nice and easy.
They're also, every battle they've taken in this round is untradeable.
Yes.
Like, there was no one playing towards Lamp, so there was no opportunity for someone to swing off of it. If there was, probably would have been a 1-for-1.
I think originally, though, right, they had Angel there. He gets Trailblazered out. He falls back, pops a molly, and hopes that's going to be enough. But I guess you also don't expect that sheer pace. That was the Sky who'd used the Trailblazer, right? And she just went running through, which sometimes is what you need to do.
Well, an early Viper's Pit. Weaponry definitely not ideal, but Cider is one of the players with a rifle, so just going to look to play within it. They now do have that judge currently within Hookah, so the weaponry is definitely not ideal, but there's some pieces to work with here. You can see, though, on the other side, again, they're going for these almost set plays to try and force players back off the angles, trying to give themselves almost anonymity, just go in with nothing really being found out by FPX, and other than that, they're just trying to hold on to some of these more aggressive angles, so they have the info. You can see it from Zipan.
They're not using any utility to clear those corners, but Zipan, he spotted it just in time. That spray! Oh, it's so close! But Zipan survives on 45, even gets a nade off as well, and that has deterred Xerxia entirely. They are moving back, conceding control over there. You've got an orb to push through on Bath and a pit to push through on mid. Yeah, this does certainly feel like a B hit.
The thing is that the judge has actually left Hookah, so the positioning of Odd, it would have been so valuable if he just stuck around a little bit longer. I guess the call was made to rotate, and now he has to basically sit within the middle of the site and try and get something with this judge. If he can get the timing right here, he has an opportunity. First one's free, but it's just a little bit off. He doesn't manage to deny it. Sushi Boys has held the line. That could have been the round slipping away, but still an opportunity here.
A huge catch and another one by Xerxia, but hold on. Sushi Boys has gone down, and it's all on the surf. He's stuck. He's getting absolutely ruined, and the ult will take him down. The defuse comes through. They could have won that off of time, and they end up winning it with the duels. That was certainly not something I was counting on. And a 4th is found for FPX.
Yeah, no, it's actually quite surprising that with Xerxia basically making a similar sort of play in almost every single round, the fact that all it really took to deny it was Zipan holding his nade. Like, that was it. He just held it a little bit longer, waited until they actually went for the take, and then they realized, like, okay, we can't really go through this anymore. Let's try for a late wraparound. And while Artist actually did, him being able to come through to this event excites me. I've wanted to see him and Zipan on LAN even for an incredibly long time. So the fact that they finally made it here is exciting. Definitely more aggressive than I expected them to be so far on the defensive side. But hey, if they come out with a 6-6, I don't think they'll be too unhappy with it.
Cancellation there immediately on the Trailblazer. B-Long 2-stack, it's not something you'll see all too often. We heard in the interview earlier the dynamic between Angel and Artist, so hopefully they maintain control here, or Artist is going to get given out too. Cross it back over, though, going to concede it completely, move to the site with Hookah presence being shown, but Xerxia, they've been very keen to play these fakes. Quite a lot of these, it feels like the majority of the rounds, they're showing early intentions and then waiting for FPX to react.
Launching smoke.
Again, they're going to go for this push through mid. A little bit of information found. Cider's actually got one with the snake bite and attempted to run through, and he's now looking to get a little bit more aggressive himself, doing everything in this round. He's been very quiet so far, but Cider with the 4K, waking up into the match. and that will be a 5th round for FPX.
Last round
Wow,
before the switch.
listen, that is some performance out of Cider. Even the decision in that duel when he swings out and takes the player over towards the tall box and then tucks back in, knowing that if there's anyone still on mid, they're going to face him, and they're going to expect him to be falling back or swinging on their teammate. They're not going to expect him to stand there, tucked in a corner, waiting for them to come on through. Surf was in no position to get anything done there. Very well handled, and a 5th now. Look, this half was looking very much favored towards Xerxia off the back of a number of very ambitious plays from FPX. But now it seems like the reins have been gripped again, and FPX could equalize before this is over.
Yeah, even still, I think Xerxia being able to get this many rounds on the attack is nothing to shy away from, especially with the fact that they're going to have Surf on that chamber going in to the defensive side. I think he's going to be a danger for sure, and well, maybe even a danger in the last round of this first half, as he's looking to try and find an opener with that tour de force. Hasn't had the greatest of performances so far, but we kind of expect that from a chamber on attack.
I mean, you see it, the struggle for Surf, and even this round with the tour de force holding an angle. You got to wait and hope that they peek you. It was Cruz that got peeked. Oh, good flash, but Fox, he is on it, taking the kill quick as you like. And Artis is now down, B-long control open. That's going to force Angel in towards Hookah, and they are reading this as an A play. Great call by FPX. But we've said before, Xerxia are always happy to rotate back. They're coming towards Angel now, and it's only one player.
Oh,
he
no.
won't even catch him. Cruz on a tear.
Yeah, that looked like a fight that Angel definitely should have won. Now the site is completely given up. Of course, for the side of Xerxia, they're going to have to take the time to clear it, but well, they've done that with relative ease, and you look at what's on the board for the other side, not a whole lot of utility, a little bit available for Xiao, but getting back in here is going to be incredibly difficult. And as I've already said, when it comes to these afterplants, Xerxia have been devastating. All too easy for Surf to pick up the first, and while the remaining 2 versus 5.
Backed into a corner on this one. There's no chance you're going to save it, but
One enemy
running
remaining.
out just leads you into their sight line. Surf finally getting that last kill to close it 7-5. A victory in the half for Xerxia. It could have been a lot better, and now I don't want to say they're in trouble just yet, but I'm waiting to see what FPX have in store for their attack.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to come down to, firstly, how much prep they've been able to bring in with Cider, but more importantly, just what sort of plans they've actually got set in motion, because I think disrupting someone like Surf is...
You've seen a very good half from Xerxia. Lots of good punishes, some great fakes. Now let's see how they fare on this defensive side.
Well, aggressive. You already see straight away Sky flashing deep down towards B main just to find out information. On the other side, Sushi Boys pressuring alongside the smoke that's there from Cruz as well. So they're basically looking to try and just almost get the information with their personnel, similarly to what FPX were doing with the Jiggle Peaks, but with a fair bit more utility put behind it.
There's lots of players towards this A site from Xerxia. They're not looking to play the same retake, right, that we saw out of FPX. But it means you're going to be a lot thinner on other sides of the map. You're not going to have that same level of defense. They're going to give up Hookah right here in exchange for a long push that hasn't yielded any results, and now in a little bit of trouble with Foxy potentially trapped on long. The TP over from Surf. He can provide some support, but they heard it, right? They know there's an extra player here. They've heard the Sky Flash, so Sky and Chamber on the B site. It seems like they're almost suspecting some A aggression. And they're waiting for it outside of A mid, but it's bathroom.
Yeah, look at the rotation already through. Considering they have the trap there, it must just be a hard read on what FPX are doing, but the majority of the defense is going to be in position, and more importantly, they're going to hold on to a lot of the map control. Sure, afterplant fairly likely, although Foxy looks like he's about to set up. Zipan, though, rounds the corner, insta-kill, and then Angel's the one just to close it out. 4 kills for him in the round, the IGL leading the charge in this one, and well, FPX off to the start they wanted.
There's a sense of trepidation when they approach that A site. They're moving so slowly, popping out their smokes, their mollies, everything, and no contact. Nobody moves. And you could see Angel sat there going, what's going on here? And like someone in bath or something weird's about to happen. They had to push in through lamps covered with a player hiding inside the Viper orb, and just waited for Xerxia to make a mistake. I think a very different approach than what we saw coming in the previous map, or the previous half, excuse me, with a lot of over-aggression out of FPX. Still, plenty of time for us to see that happen coming into round number 2. Classics for good old Xerxia. Don't expect very much of them here, do we? Oh, there. FPX, look how much utility they've just used just to get control over an orb.
Well, especially with how close Angel's already getting, I don't really mind it. Like, we saw it in the last half as well, that Xerxia basically had the orbital strike going into the round. Xiao somehow managed to flank out the entirety of the team, so this has definitely gone as bad as it could have done. Nonetheless, I'm kind of looking at Surf here. He's been able to take quite a bit of map control away. The thing is, catching them as they go in towards the site is going to be pretty difficult, and with them already completely in control, the only man he could potentially catch is going to be Zipan, and while side is now in position to watch.
Yeah, even if he goes down, it's the classic no shield, or the ghost, excuse me, no shields. Certainly not the end of the world. And Angel's gotten out of that with half as well. I mean, this has just been altogether a fairly clean one. What you'd imagine. Coming into the next, not quite the same story. Full rifles for Xerxia. FPX have still got those 2 Vandals, though. Like, realistically, with a little bit of extra investment, they give themselves a serious chance to put up a fight in this one here.
This is something they do quite regularly, where they go for these weaker purchases, but this is exactly how they want it to work. With the Prime Gaming Flawless coming through, they managed to basically put them in position where they can have these rifles, and it doesn't affect their buy in the next round whatsoever. And that's where the value comes in. If they lose a couple of players, then they're screwed for the next round. It's not worth it. This is very aggressive, though, from the defense. Already just pushing all the way through an instant trade. And I don't know if that's too beneficial for them, because the rifles still stand.
See, the thing is, yeah, they'll know that those rifles are in play. They can see their opponent's economy start around. You know they're going to be putting that excess income into those weapons. But with trading out 1-to-1, I have to agree with you. Look at the damage done to Surf. He's on 7 HP. Even despite that, this is not a good trade. What is good for them is the map control they've got. Coming down through Belong, through Hookah. They can leave one guy to watch that whole bit of control. But
look how long Surf is.
FPX aren't going to be coming anywhere near this side. There you go.
He's screwed. It was 7 HP trying to defend against the entirety of FPX. And bear in mind, again, this is their bonus round. This is one that Xerxia really need to be winning. Nice shot from Cider. It seems like he's woken up after that 4K. Sushi Boys has good timing. He's got to communicate this to Foxy, but it seems like they're going to try and pincer in onto Xiao together, but never mind. Sushi Boys does it alone.
Good spot by him. Good comms as well. Still plenty more to deal with. Double peek, and Sushi Boys avoids it. Nade is through. That's a lot of space. Can he cross over? Artis is covering it. He's got a tight angle on it, and he'll connect the shot. 1 versus 2 with time. Artis swinging up top. Very aggressive, but worthwhile with the 3rd kill found. FPX push up to 8, and the lead is now theirs. This is maybe where Xerxia start to sweat a little bit after that first half, and it could have been a little bit more convincing. Now FPX catch up, they take the lead, and they push Xerxia down to an eco.
Yeah, the worry as well, they will just see how easy that was. Like, normally, when you're playing with the rifles, there are certain battles that you're going to be willing to take because you expect not to be against rifles on the other side. And some of the pushes that they made almost made me think that they didn't realize the rifles were there. Because, like, you go instantly for that fight in towards Showers, you go, okay, I've got the weapon advantage, I'll take that peek. And then they get shot in the face. It's like, okay, and Surf also was down to almost 1 HP straight off the beginning of the round. Then it just leaves their A-site control screwed.
Interesting thing that there's no shotguns in this round either. You know, the potential to play up inside of Hookah is something that many players will want to take. And in fact, it's the Sheriff there.
I wonder if Sushi Boys is saving credits to give an operator over to Surf. It might be one of the reasons he hasn't invested into anything for this round. It really seems like they're just saving every single credit they can to make sure they actually buy into the next. Like, you've got at least a little bit invested into the SMGs, but no shields behind it either.
Oh, wow. Look at the amount of utility. You have got so few angles to worry about on the way out. Spawn is smoked. Close corner was mollied out. Naded out on backside with a snake bite as well. And practically, like, elbow was pretty much all they had to look at in that position. When that molly's come through a little bit late, Plant's still allowed to come through, and so Xerxia don't really have the clock on their side on this retake. And of course, with all the man advantages that FPX are working with, they have more than enough players to cover all these angles. Martyrdom there.
can Scary get anything with the Stinger? The thing is, the credits on the other side are so good, but at least he can try and reduce it a little bit. He will get the kill onto Artis, get himself an extra ultimate orb. But now this is where we need to see a response from Xerxes. This is where I said I assume, yeah, the operator is now going to be dropped over to Surf. He's someone that we sort of highlighted at the beginning of this game, that he needs to almost be that explosive player for Xerxes. Like, they have very good players all the way through the squad, but he's the one, especially on this defense, that has to put up numbers. Right now, he's at the bottom of the board.
Well, exactly. And it's okay for him to be there after that first half, but as you're saying, Tom, coming into round number 5, operator is on the board. This is where you earn your spot on this chamber. And Surf is not looking to sit back and wait for FPX to come to him. No, no. Surf is pushing. He's got teammates covering his left side, and he's scoped up on right. Nobody's there. And if he's... Oh, he's gotten him! What a shot!
His teammates left. Like, that's so mental that his teammates faded away, left him on his own, and he still connected the shot. Scary finally going to be traded out from his aggressive position, but Surf is just slaughtering FPX. Artis now, last man standing while Surf's going to do the damage. There is a reason they saved the credits for that operator, Mitch.
There absolutely is. Yeah, we said we needed to see this guy show up, and, well, I think that'll just about do it. Bottom to top of the scoreboard in one round.
The thing is, though, what his teammates did, I don't understand.
It was wild. Yeah.
Like, if he's going to stay that far forward, why are his teammates running away? That's why you see Angel peek, because Angel hears double footsteps. But it wasn't planned. Like, Surf's like, I will look this way. My teammates have my back. No, they don't.
It feels like either a miscommunication or maybe Surf getting technically overzealous in that he should lose that fight 9 times out of 10. But that worked out. Surf up close, and he's on more, but he can't get out. He's stuck. The ult is keeping him in position. Xiao is going to make it very hard for him to hear anything, to expect those cues, but he's running on up. Surf finding a new lease of life here as he's just dominating the server. This operator has made all the difference. That more! Look at this guy go!
He's finally dead. Finally. Someone's managed to put him in his place.
Viper's Pit?
Yeah, optimistic. 1 versus 3.
No snake bites.
Yeah, I don't know if Cider would want to be using that in this sort of scenario. Credits are still pretty good as well, something they could try and play around in the next round, and he's being slowly closed in as well, so he almost has to make a move here. Just try and drop as many weapons as physically possible, but I think 9-9 is looking very likely.
Yeah.
They're ready.
They've got everything they need for this, and even the Seekers on Foxy. So that pit wouldn't be as much of a trouble as you'd imagine a Trailblazer too. The swing is going to have to be huge, and it's absolutely not going to be cruise control for Xerxes in the end of that round. As they pull off to 9-9, look, it's not the end of the world for FPX, but the economy's now starting to feel a little bit of pain.
So Surf had no abilities, half HP, no sound. Yeah, and he was also marked, so they knew where he was.
And there was a Prowler just about to hit him.
Yeah.
Just seconds.
One enemy
and they also threw a fragment at him.
And jumped through a Viper wall.
Yeah, and none of that stopped him.
No, in fact, he just hit every shot.
He's also just gone from bottom of his team, bottom of the server, to top.
Artis has got 16, got 1 more kill.
Of his team.
Yeah. He did start from the bottom, and now he is here. It has been unbelievable to see Surf turn around like that, and it was the hope that we had. The operator would be the turning point for Xerxes, and so far it most certainly has, but plenty more rounds to play with Viper Spit down on B long, and FPX are going slowly through with that snake bite. It's huge. Artis is left down to 2 HP. He almost went down to it, and another one's on the way. Angel barely avoiding that. Well, that was scary. We could have just lost 2 players to a snake bite and a Viper's Pit in the first couple seconds.
No, you're correct. It was scary. Almost managing to get himself those couple of kills. But nonetheless, I'm still looking at some of the ultimates on the other side. Like, you've got your own Viper's Pit. More importantly, you've got the Orbital Strike, which I think, especially if you're going to try and take over Lamp's control, just has so much value for the squad. But again, I think FPX have just fallen back into this default, wary that they've lost some control. Now they have. It's towards the showers, and more importantly, well, Zipan's own angle used against him to better effect. They're now in quite a lot of trouble because they haven't been able to find the pick. The Viper's Pit is down. They're locked out of showers. They need a kill.
30 seconds left.
Oh, this flash, there's a lot on it. Molly's gone through. There's the flash as they dive out, and the reposition from Foxy only gets him the 1 orbital strike onto Cider. That's connected the frag, and site is now sort of under their control. It depends whether they peek, but with 12 seconds left, they're going to wait for that plan to commence. That was a strange fight, and he survived it! Oh, no, I don't know what I'm watching. Cruz winning out the round anyways, and they'll find double digits. That was unusual one,
There was
Tom.
a lot of
It's
things
fair to
in
say.
that round where I'm not sure if it was communicated properly. They orbital strike, and then they throw a fragment into the orbital strike, which will do nothing. Unless they're 100% certain that somebody is there. And they don't then clear the corner to the right of the site as well, so then Foxy's able to get away. So it basically, it just felt like FPX in that take didn't really have everything like communicated properly, and they just didn't put it across. Also, then you just have that showstopper, which I was looking towards the Seekers, and also, I doubt he'll need it, but he does have a tour de force.
Here we go again, same setup as before.
4 players this time.
Yeah, only 2 of them will run away, maybe. Surf's got that close right covered this time. There is a player there, and the hand is hit. Xiao has a choice to make. He's going back out for more. Well, Surf finding a whole lot of value, and now this swing up close is not yielding them actually that poor of a result. Quick trade, smokes out, but with Foxy in for another, FPX are falling way behind.
I love these almost little set plays that they just seem to have around this man. He connected that shot. It clipped the edge of the wall, and that's enough for Angel to actually survive on just 6 HP. Ardis, he needs this kill onto Sushi, and well, it's not going to be happening. Quick swing, Angel down to 6. What can he really do from this? Gain an orb, and, well, again, try and fight for his life.
Not a pretty situation. 1 smoke to work with, 6 HP. A spike down. Look, if he can grab a kill here, could help them at least a little, but not a chance. Solid connection from Sushi Boys. 11th round now for Xerxia, Tom. The home stretch getting pretty close, and FPX don't have cash.
That's the thing, 4 in a row now for Xerxia. Their defense has really picked up. The second that Operator came into play, the round's completely different, because I feel like a lot of their set plays are fantastic when it comes to setting up around the Operator. If they don't have it, it's definitely not as valuable.
Yeah, we just saw it down the bottom. Even though Xerxia are in the lead and we've had this massive resurgence out of Surf, Artis is still leading on ACS. Ain't gonna matter much though if you end up losing out on the map. Like we said, this round right here, just a couple of credits to spare over on FPX. They'll invest those into whatever trinkets they can pick up, but for the most part, this should be a shutdown out of Xerxia. They're going to be under a lot of pressure on A, though, Tom, and they have gambled up on this B site. There's no fast rotation. There's no one coming to help. Scary. He's going to have to hold on all by himself. And that nade has landed at his feet, so he's given up his secondary position. Now he's on the back site.
That's the thing. This gamble has played so well into the hands of their opponents. You got the showstopper to just try and delay them on their rotation. Maybe try and find something with it, but ultimately it doesn't matter. They've managed to garner the space, and with the weaponry they have, that's absolutely fine. The Viper's Pit is down as well. There wasn't many opportunities for them to actually win this round, but the fast play in towards the site might be the only one.
It was the right gamble. Xerxia were over on B. Now they've got to retake the site. And these pistols can get up close. They can take favorable fights. They can swing with each other. Drop inside of the ult. That is brave. Sushi Boys has spotted the Viper, but not taken her down. Just about holding on to life here. Cider has the round in his hands. He's up close and he stopped the defuse, but down goes the pit. Can they get on it in time?
Too late.
There's barely any time on the clock and it's done. They've actually gotten away with it. A gamble out of Xerxia for the B site, and they couldn't have been more wrong.
Yeah, that's the thing with these set plays. They did this in a previous round, 4 players fighting in towards the A site, and you're like, okay, it's caught them as they go through, it's brilliant. Then, the next round, you have an eco, and they go, right, 4 players towards B, and this is the problem. They managed to get through into the site versus the 1 player that was there, and then it's all about delaying time, and FPX just had the ultimates ready to do it.
Absolutely beautiful. And I think from the perspective of Xerxia, it's such a difficult round to hold on to. I mean, you saw Scary doing his best, popping his utility bit after bit, but there was so much coming his way. And it comes back to what you said earlier, Tom. FPX have the utility to deal with Surf. They've tried. They put it out there at times, but he was still connecting the shots. Now we see what happens when those shots aren't connected on the other side. That utility gets you the space, and there's another one out of this guy. Well, okay, that's one way to shut him down.
Yeah.
Kill him through the wall.
Yeah, they've taken the space into mid, and again, it's the fallback from the remaining players. A little bit messy, and in fact, both going in the other direction. Artist needs to do something huge here to stand a chance in hell, but he manages to get both! Almost an accidental lineup. Xiao's also found one more, and they know where Cruz is, but both players are tagged. The C's is going to hold him back just that little bit longer, giving them the info that they needed, and he's desperately trying to find the clear onto one of these players. But they are set in a perfect crossfire, waiting for that contact, and it is free for Xiao. Artist, well, that was a huge play.
Well, the man was leading on ACS a little earlier on. I think he's bumped up the numbers a little bit in that round. 11-11, and it just couldn't be a better time to step it up. After that atrocious push into Lamps, I thought it was done, but they must have done just about enough damage for Scary to go down to, I mean, a shot that I didn't even see hit him. I didn't see it come close to him, but it did enough damage.
There's plenty to be done. There is, however, a counter and a potential showstopper for Sushi Boys coming up.
You know what? Scary might have some opportunities here. A lot of his opponents are playing with light shields here. Xiao and Cider. I doubt they're going to be first points of contact, and in fact, they won't. Surf connecting the shot onto Angel. It's a trade. Oh, the wide swing. Artist doesn't connect, and now he cannot afford a repeat, and Xiao's gone. I don't know how this guy hits the shots. Even when the players are mid-air, he seems to have no trouble.
That's a problem. I genuinely feel like Foxy was just sacrificed there so that they could actually get an advantage in the round, just getting Surf the angle needed. Throwing in a little bit of utility in towards this B site, trying to pull a rotation away, but with the deep control that's already there. Look how far Sushi Boys has gone. He's all the way through. Like, he's basically watching them in towards the spawn at this point.
Is he gonna
so
flank?
If they do double back around,
They think it's B.
yeah, because he's not seen anyone and it's so far in, they're actually going to go for a rotation all the way back. He might have the perfect flank instead, but for now, they might actually just have a walkthrough in towards the A site.
Oh, this is horrendous. I mean, I can't blame Xerxia for the read. The information they have, it looks like they've made the right call, but now they have to hope that they can at least delay the time. Right orbital strike to allow the flank to come through, but Zipman's already onto Cruz. Here's the flank, hasn't got line of sight. And as they come out of the orb, oh, Artis is tucked in the corner. Sushi Boy's gonna have to swing out wide, and he's lost his life. A great shot from Artis. Cider with another, and now Xerxia in a lot of hot water. Scary, gonna have to clutch this out. Already the first. What would be a 3K, a good connection. But he's gotten him! A reload now, leaving him in the 1v1. Cider watching for the drop. He's got him, but he almost whiffs it. Just about getting it in time. And we will see FPX with a chance to close this out in regulation.
I think if Scary shoots one more bullet there, he wins that fight.
I'm with you.
I like it. You could see it was correcting, and I think the last bullet was like a millimeter above his head. That was way too close of a 1v3, but there was so much in that round that could have gone Xerxia's way. The push through from Sushi Boys actually ends up almost being a burden. Just because they took the information they got, they ran with it, and it was just unfortunate that the net was slipped by FPX, and then just slightly off in the timing. He spams a bullet into that poison orb. He probably wins his team the round.
Literally. He had no idea, obviously, the player had 1 HP inside of it, so why would you? You're just going to get killed by someone else. The surprise factor was definitely the right gamble, but it was that. It was a gamble that didn't pay off, and now Xerxia come into this one. They're going to put everything on the table. Viper's Pit. Showstopper, FPX, already looking to make a little bit of control go their way. The B site under heavy pressure, but that Viper's Pit going down on long. It could be the spanner in the works that ends up costing massively. A great shot onto Zipman. That's taken out so much, and with Angel finally going down to that snake bite, we saw this last time that Scary used the Viper's Pit. Angel and Artis almost fell to it, and this time it's already got its first victim.
Yeah, this round has completely fallen apart. Xerxia have done an excellent job managing to basically delay enough time that Nightfall has no impact. Artis as well just sat within the Viper's Pit hoping that there's an overextension from Scary, but he hasn't done anything of the sort so far, and well, the only real glimmer of hope is the fact that Cider has managed to kill Scary, though. Still just sticking within the pit. OT looking inevitable, and they've even locked him in on the flank if he tries to go back the other way.
You can see the desperation at the end, the attempt to bait them into swinging on Hookah so Artis could lurk through the pit. Cruz all the control he could possibly wish for. The information swings their way. We are going to an overtime in this game, and you know what, Tom? It is warranted. And that, not the last round, but the one before, where both teams kind of put all their economy into it. We had 5 players, 2 on FPX and 3 on Xerxia at one point, who were considering going in with light shields. The fact that we even have that FPX had already had their discussion, but Xerxia, they wanted that extra minute. Now we come in, and again, we're going to look at that operator on Surf. They bought it up on the attack side, Tom. That comes with a lot of disadvantages. For example, they're not going to have any shields on Surf, but his defensive op has been certainly enough to warrant this.
Yeah, for sure. I think that, especially when it came to the attack, that he didn't bring a massive amount of value other than some of the early rounds. So
agreed.
I think just giving him that opportunity, and especially with like some of the jump peaks and jiggle peaks that were being made, I think that's absolutely fine. Give him an opportunity to try and find that opener. He's been one of their best players so far. Probably their best player, to be honest, when it comes to that defensive side. And just look at the rotation coming through. A wrong step! He's so ready for these jump spots. And while I think a smoke's going to go down in the set. Oh no! Xiao swings it! That is such a cocky peek from Xiao, but a brilliant shot nonetheless.
Certainly not expected on the other side. Sushi Boy's position's going to be given away. Artist, though, taking quite a bit of damage. Push up through. He's seen a second player now, but Foxy's not deterred. Well, 2 nades coming his way. That'll certainly get you out of the way. Sushi Boy's low HP, but he's managed to grab himself a kill. Cruz! That was an awkward duel, and that's the spike, Tom.
Yeah, more importantly, they've got very little time. And I was going to say Sushi Boys is low, but that was irrelevant with the shot that was just connected. I don't even know what the plan is here from Foxy.
I have B.
Guys, bring the spike B. Guys, bring the spike B. I'm on B. It's clear.
They got to be so confused when they pop this ult and go, wait, he's not there? That's just, I mean, look, the reality is that's, let's spell it out plainly. That's just an unfortunate plan coming out of the attacking side. If you're Xerxia, you're wanting to keep those players inside of hookah. You want to at least get the control, push those guys back. And when your whole team dies on the other side of the map, it's like, okay, well, now I'm left with 20 seconds, 1v5 or 1v4, and, you know, no control whatsoever. The round was done and dusted as it was.
Bro, what are you doing, bro?
We were wondering the same thing, Cider. It's okay. 13-12 as we come on to the last, potentially round, the last round of OT, number 1. Let's see if Xerxia can pull it off, because now they've got the op on the defense, and this was genuinely the difference maker. We said the Surf, maybe he can get something on the attack, but it's tough, Now this isn't tough, and this is where he's found the value time and time again. He's playing on the A side on top of Truck, hoping to catch someone, and looks like he's about to get the opportunity as FPX start to poke and prod around this area of the map.
Yeah, they've got the info that there's at least a couple of players in towards the showers, so the knife doing its job, they have to be really wary. That you can even see how careful they're being around mid just because of how aggressive he's been. The problem is, Foxy has now got aggressive elsewhere, and they have absolutely no information. He's actually going to go peeking in. I don't believe he did that. I don't feel like that was something that was necessary at all, and he's just given up all of the control, especially when you're the solo player on the other side of the map. That's B now abandoned.
I can't wrap my head around that one. Control that he had, I guess, didn't want to be just full swung by the team. Thought he could catch them off, and he did, but the shot. Oh, that's a great nade. Followed him all the way, but Cruz still able to get to.
Fair play.
Eventually going down, but he might just have bought his team a lifeline to hold on in this map. Either way, it's not going to be easy, because they are going to have to retake this site.
Snakebite, not really going to do much to delay, although Cider does step in it a little bit, at least. They've also managed to keep control of hookah. It seems like, from the defender side, they're expecting there to be someone almost setting up for a lineup here, but every single player currently within the site or hookah, it does mean that the players on site can almost be surrounded as they're slowly being wrapped around from all angles.
One spotted at least, nade through. That's going to clear them out, push them into the spawn player, hopefully. But Surf falling, Scary taken down, and now the round done. FPX are picking up their first map on LAN. The debut off to a good start. And Tom, that was Xerxia's map pick.
Yeah, a real slog of a game.